My mom kept urging me to let her see her grandchild's face, and before I knew it, I blurted out a huge lie: I have a girlfriend. When I told Megan, my junior at work, about my predicament, she replied, "I can pretend to be your girlfriend. Don't you think it'd work out well?" I was stunned by Megan's unexpected offer. At the same time, I realized that if Megan pretended to be my girlfriend, it would really get me out of a bind. "Are you sure about this?" "Wait, really?" Megan smiled and nodded at my repeated questioning. Realizing I had no other options, I bowed my head and asked her to pretend to be my girlfriend. A few days later, she agreed to come to my family's home, and that's when things started to get intense, leading to a massive shift in my relationship with Megan. My name is James, and I'm a 39-year-old single guy. Most of the 39-year-olds around me are married, with 1 or 2 kids. Some are even talking about building their own homes soon. Of course, that's just the people I know. Maybe it's different for others. I don't have many friends, and the last girlfriend I had was back in college. Since we broke up, I haven't been in a relationship. Even my hobby, which I used to pour all my energy into, I had to quit due to an injury. Where do people even meet someone these days? I catch myself saying that whenever I see happy families together. I never used to think that way, but there's a reason I started feeling this way. It's because of something my only family, my mom, said. Since my dad passed away, it's just me and my mom living together. She's cheerful, loves Korean dramas, and is a bit of a fangirl. Recently, she started saying this: "James, I've been thinking about something lately." She brought it up one evening over dinner. "What's up? Why this serious talk?" Smiling, she looked at me and said, "I'd love to see a grandchild's face soon. I'm ready to be a grandma." What do you say? Can you make that happen? What could I possibly say to that? There's just no way. It's obviously impossible. No way, Mom. Even if you ask for that, it's just not possible, you know? I felt a bit sorry as her son, but I knew there was no way I could make her dream come true. I mean, I don't even have a girlfriend, let alone a wife. She gave me a look of deep dissatisfaction. "You're already 39, James. It's not strange for you to be married by now." In my mind, I'd pictured you settling down by 30. I could only laugh at that. That was your plan? Well, sorry about that. It would put my mind at ease to have a good daughter-in-law around. Are you even trying to date or find someone? Honestly, I'd already kind of given up, so I wasn't putting in any effort. But telling her that to her serious face would only upset her. Better to just play along for now. I am trying, Mom. But can you be a bit patient? Both for a girlfriend and a grandchild. I wanted to end the conversation there, but she wouldn't let it go. I understand, but if you don't get married, I'll never get to be a grandma. So work on it. All right. I'll try, but give me some time. I tried to keep my sigh inside as I said it. I just needed to get through this moment. All I did was keep repeating that I'd try my best. All right, I'll give you time. But at least get a girlfriend. Make me a grandma, okay? That conversation happened about a month ago. Since then, she's been asking every 2 days to see her grandchild's face, and honestly, I was getting worn out. I actually feel more relaxed at work. As I was about to head out for lunch, someone tapped me on the shoulder from behind. "James. Going to lunch? Mind if I join you?" I turned around to see Megan, my ever-energetic junior, standing there as usual. Though Megan is 28, her youthful face makes her look even younger. She joined the company as a mid-career hire, and I was the one who trained her back then. Megan's bright personality and ability to lift the mood make her a natural morale booster. She's popular both among our co-workers and clients. "Hey. Sure, let's go. I'll treat you." "Really? Yay." She jumped up with joy. We headed to a Chinese restaurant near the office. We each ordered our favorite dishes and waited. Even though it was lunchtime, Megan ordered a hearty plate of twice-cooked pork, while I opted for a vegetable stir-fry set. These days, I feel like my stomach can't handle heavy meals as well as it used to. So, James, how's everything going lately? Got yourself a girlfriend? Megan asked, taking a sip of water. What was this? It felt like déjà vu. At home, Mom pesters me about grandkids, and now Megan's asking if I have a girlfriend. With a sigh, I gave her a little complaint. You too, Megan? Huh? What do you mean by that? Well, actually, I explained to Megan how my mom's been asking to see her grandkids. Megan burst out laughing at my story. She was laughing so hard that she couldn't even start on her Szechuan pork stir-fry that had just arrived. Enough laughing. It'll get cold, come on, dig in. Oh, sorry. I'll eat now. Megan finally managed to compose herself and started eating her piping hot dish. After swallowing a bite, she grinned. Delicious. I'm in heaven. Glad you can find happiness in a $9 Szechuan pork stir-fry. Happiness is everywhere if you know where to look. True enough. But why did your mom suddenly start talking about grandkids? Apparently, some of her close friends recently had grandkids, and they keep telling her how cute they are. Now she wants grandkids too and is dying to babysit. Megan chuckled at the all-too-familiar story. That makes sense. I get it. It's fine to dream about it, but there's no way for me. I'm about to hit 40 next year. My grumbling didn't faze Megan in the slightest. A man's life starts at 40. You're fine, James. You know, maybe one day you'll bump shoulders with someone on the way home and say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and it'll lead to romance. That's straight out of a cheap drama. Like that'd ever happen. We both laughed at that. Thanks to Megan, I felt a lot better and thanked her. Glad to hear that. Just let me know if anything else comes up. We headed back to the office together, waving as we went our separate ways. I made a note to treat her to another Szechuan pork stir-fry sometime. Later, when I got home, I greeted my mom. I'm home. Oh, welcome home. So, do you have a girlfriend now? The light-hearted mood I had from laughing with Megan started to sink. Really, Mom? That's the first thing you say when I get home? Of course. I'm dying to know if I'll get to be a grandma or not. Grandma, grandma. Grandkids, 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 grandkids. I'd heard those words so much lately that they were starting to give me a headache. And that's when I let a lie slip out. Yes, I get it. Don't worry, Mom. I do have a girlfriend. Wait, what did I just say? Inwardly panicking, I felt my face grow pale. A girlfriend? Where? Who? This was bad. I had to take it back now. But it was already too late. Oh my goodness. Really? Wow. I knew you could do it, James. You're amazing. Seeing her probably the happiest she's been in ages, there was no way I could say, it was just a spur-of-the-moment lie. No way I could ever admit that. This was bad. Really bad. The more I panicked, the less my brain seemed to function. So, what's she like? When's she coming over? I can't wait to meet her. My mom's excitement shot through the roof, and she was now eagerly awaiting to meet this imaginary girlfriend. So I foolishly added another lie. I'll ask if she's free this Sunday. Someone, please knock some sense into me. Hey, James. What happened? Your face looks terrible. The next day at lunch. After a sleepless night, I was wandering around when I spotted Megan walking toward me. I know, not just my face, even my mental state's a wreck. Normally, I'd mind Megan's bluntness, but my mind was too far gone to care. Alright, let's talk. What do you feel like eating? My treat. Asking, what do you feel like eating? Megan pulled me straight into a ramen shop. Without missing a beat, she ordered my favorite spicy miso ramen for me. She pressed a damp towel to my face, scrubbing it roughly. Come on, get it together. I thought I saw a zombie coming my way. Sorry, and thanks. After taking a sip of water to steady myself, I told Megan the whole story. She looked at me with a somewhat indescribable expression. What's with that look? Well, you really messed up. Yeah, tell me about it. All right, James. I'll step in and help you out here. I blinked, stunned by her words. Huh? What do you mean? Megan laughed, clearly enjoying herself. She seemed to be relishing the situation. I'll pretend to be your girlfriend. Don't you think it's a great idea? Her unexpected offer took me by surprise. But at the same time, I realized having Megan pretend to be my girlfriend would really help me out. Are you really sure? Really? She smiled and nodded in response to my double check. With no other options, I bowed my head and asked Megan to pretend to be my girlfriend. Thank you. This really helps me out, can't thank you enough. No worries. I'm happy to help out, James. So, what's the plan? Megan and I started going over what we'd say when we visited my family. We discussed likely questions, how long we'd been dating, our future plans together, and other topics we'd need to be in sync on. There are still 5 days until we visit your mom. We can go over things like this during lunch breaks. Thanks so much. I owe you, I'll treat you to lunch every time. Her eyes sparkled at my promise. From then on, during every lunch break, the two of us practiced answering all sorts of questions. Sorry to make you spend your free time on this. I bowed my head to Megan once again in gratitude. Oh, James, you apologize too much. I volunteered for this, and I'm getting lunch out of it. It's no trouble at all. Megan laughed brightly, her cheerful voice filling the room. It suddenly crossed my mind. Why doesn't Megan have a boyfriend? She's got a great personality, and she's beautiful too. I'd even heard some of the guys at work mention they liked her. I was curious, but as close as we were, it didn't feel right to ask something so personal. So, I kept my thoughts to myself. Hello? Thank you for having me. Mom, this is Megan. Just as promised, I brought Megan over to my house that Sunday. Seeing Megan at the door, Mom's excitement shot through the roof. Oh my! What a lovely young lady! I can't believe you brought home someone so wonderful, James. I could only smile at her reaction, nearly bouncing with joy at the front door. Megan seemed pleased to be called a young lady, which I found amusing. Oh, young lady, I'm flattered. Following Mom's enthusiastic come on in, we stepped into the living room. Here, James said you like these, ma'am. Megan pulled out a roll cake, Mom's favorite. Thank you. How thoughtful of you. Was it that she'd brought a roll cake? Or that she had called my mom ma'am? It was probably both, I thought, as I could only smile awkwardly at my mom, who was absolutely overjoyed. You two work at the same company, right? Yes, that's right. James was the one who trained me when I joined as a new hire. Megan handled the expected question with ease. I anticipated the next question and jumped in. She's amazing, right? Bright and kind, I've always been interested in her. Mom nodded eagerly. Yes, with such a lovely girl, I'm not surprised. Megan and I shared a laugh, letting the comment pass. But Megan, James is the one who confessed, right? So what made you fall for him? With a relaxed smile, Megan answered. Well, James is incredibly kind and attentive. He notices how others feel, like when someone's feeling off or unwell, and actually does something about it. Once, when one of my colleagues was sick with cramps, he made sure she could take a break. When she said that, it reminded me that really did happen. Megan had been paying close attention. Well, anyone would notice when someone looks pale and clutches their stomach, right? Besides, I figured it'd be embarrassing if I asked. So I got one of the female colleagues to check on her. My mom had tough periods, too, so I knew how rough it could be. True, I remember you helping me out back then, James. That's what I saw in him, it's why I felt drawn to him. So when he confessed, I was really happy. She sounded so genuinely pleased that I couldn't help but marvel at her acting skills. Megan really was quite the actress. James, you really pulled it off. Well done. I told my mom we had plans, so she and Megan's time together was set from 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. We ordered the deluxe sushi set, brought out the roll cake, and my mom chatted nonstop the entire time. She was obviously thrilled, and Megan looked like she was genuinely enjoying herself too. Watching them, I caught myself thinking, if only this were real. No. What am I even thinking? When it was time to leave, I headed out with Megan. My mom told her to come back again, over and over. Thank you so much for today. Oh, no problem. I'm glad I could help out. As I walked Megan to the station, I thanked her repeatedly. You've been treating me to lunch, so it's fine. I'm just glad your mom was so happy. I haven't seen her that happy in ages. I guess having you as my girlfriend really made her day. Megan murmured something under her breath. Wish it was. A gust of wind blew right at that moment, and I couldn't quite catch the words. Huh? What did you say? Oh, nothing. This is fine, James. See you tomorrow at work. With a bright smile, Megan waved and headed off. Yeah, see you tomorrow. I watched Megan walk through the ticket gate. Feeling warm and content, I had no idea. A major incident was about to unfold at the office the next day. An incident that would drastically change the relationship between Megan and me. Good morning. When I arrived at the office, Simon, a co-worker of mine, rushed over. I'd never seen him look so flustered, and I was taken aback. Hey! James! You're close with Megan, right? Yeah. What's going on? Simon thrust an A4-sized paper into my hands. There was a picture of a younger Megan, plastered across the cover of what appeared to be a porn video. My heart pounded. What is this? This has got to be fake, right? Like a Photoshop job? It doesn't seem that way. This was faxed over to the office, 100 copies of it. The sender claims that Megan, the one who works here, used to be a porn actress. No way. What about Megan? Does she know? Yeah, she saw it. She went completely pale and then ran off somewhere. Everyone's out looking for her now because we're worried she might do something drastic? My blood ran cold at Simon's words. If, hypothetically, this turned out to be true, and if it was something Megan desperately wanted to keep hidden, only for everyone at the office to find out? All right. I'll help look. I'll check the places she might go. Please, get rid of all these copies. I crumpled the fax in my hand and handed it to Simon. You got it. Keep me posted. I yelled my thanks and dashed outside. Flashes of Megan laughing with my mom, eating her Szechuan pork stir-fry with that happy, blissful look on her face, kept surfacing in my mind. Where is she? Come on, think. Gasping for breath, I murmured to myself. I sorted through possible places in my mind where Megan might have gone. Then, one place came to mind. There was a time when Megan had messed up at work and looked really down. I remembered seeing her sitting alone on a swing in a small park nearby. I thought about going over to her, but everyone needs a private spot to be alone sometimes, so I left her be. Please be there, please. I broke into a full-on sprint, something I hadn't done in ages. My lungs and heart hurt, and my legs felt like they might give out. But the thought of something happening while I stopped kept me running, gasping for air with every step. Finally, the park came into view, and there she was, sitting on the swing. In my head, I called out, "Megan." But in reality, my voice barely came out, and I tripped spectacularly at the entrance to the park. Oof! I reached out to steady myself, but it was too late. I fell to the ground. Dust flew up, and I started coughing. Oh my gosh! James! Are you okay? What do I do? James? Megan frantically shook me as I lay there, coughing and out of breath. I wanted to tell her I was okay, but I couldn't catch my breath yet. It must have looked like a chaotic scene, a grown man lying face down while a woman was on the verge of tears beside him. Just then, my phone rang. Panicked, Megan reached into my pocket and pulled it out. Oh! It's Simon. James, I'm going to answer it. Hang in there, he's coming to help. Seeing me nod, she spoke to Simon through her tears. It wasn't long before Simon rushed over. James! Are you all right? Embarrassingly, I couldn't stand on my own due to the exhaustion of sprinting and the shock of the fall until Simon helped me up. With his support and a bottle of water Megan bought me, I drank it and finally felt ready to speak. Are you okay, James? That's my line. I heard you ran out of the office looking pale, so I went out to find you. At that, Megan's expression fell, clearly reminded of the fax incident. Simon continued. I made sure to collect all 100 copies. No one's taken any of them. I personally shredded every last one. Megan bowed her head. Thank you, Simon. Did the people in the department see it? Simon looked pained. Yeah, I can't say they didn't see anything. Thomas mentioned he wanted to talk to you. Will you be all right? I understand. I'm sorry for causing so much trouble. Megan bowed deeply again. Think you're ready to go back? Take your time, it'd probably be better for James to walk you there since you two are close. Just come back when you're ready. Thanks, Simon. I owe you one. Thank you. And James, make sure to put a bandage on those scrapes when you get back, all right? I raised a hand in thanks as Simon walked off. You okay? I'm all right now. I'm so sorry for running out like that. No worries, as long as you're safe. Everyone was looking for you. Seems you're still well liked. That's not really true. James, you saw it, didn't you? I nodded silently. I was so naive. It was just my mom and me growing up. When she passed away, I ended up in a care facility. I left when I turned 18. I just wanted a family of my own so badly. And then, I got involved with the wrong man. I was tricked into making that video. After the first one, he said it didn't matter if I did another, or a third. I ran away. Far, far away, moving from place to place, until I ended up here. Megan spoke through her tears. This bright, always smiling girl. I never would have guessed she'd been through so much. I was overwhelmed and could only listen in silence. Recently, I saw a man who looked like him in this town. He was looking at me, too. I thought it might be him and ran off. Megan gave a sad smile, saying, it must have really been him. I'll have to quit my job. Oh, and I promised to see your mom again. I'll need to apologize to her. She forced a smile. Do you really need to quit? The one causing the trouble here is that guy. But it would only cause trouble for everyone. All right then. I'll head back to the office. You sure you're okay? Yes, I should at least go back. I couldn't think of anything comforting to say as I walked her back to the office. Apparently, Megan told our manager, Thomas, the truth. And then, she handed in her resignation on the spot. I'm really sorry for causing so much trouble.
You didn't do anything wrong. You don't need to quit.
Despite Thomas's attempts to persuade her, she shook her head. The next day, she brought in her formal resignation letter.
During lunch, I waited for Megan by the entrance so I could talk to her.
James, I'll treat you to Szechuan pork stir-fry. When I said that, Megan managed a small smile.
This will be the last time I get a treat from you, huh? I didn't respond and instead led her to the Chinese restaurant we'd been to countless times before.
As the food arrived and we began eating, I asked Megan,
"What are you planning to do after leaving the company?"
"I'll move somewhere else, find a job, and just make a quiet living."
"No marriage, no boyfriend. I'll live on my own." Is that really something to say with a smile?
"Oh, by the way, my mom's already asked to see you again tomorrow."
"I'll go one last time, then." I enjoyed talking with her. "But after we meet tomorrow, you'll have to tell her we, broke up or something."
"If I say we broke up, she'll start bugging me about grandkids again." "But really, thanks for coming, even for this last time."
"No, thank you.
I enjoyed being your girlfriend for a bit." We thanked each other as we ate lunch.
The next day finally arrived, our last day as a couple. "Megan.
I'm so glad you came, I'm thrilled to see you again so soon." As usual, my mom's excitement shot up at the sight of Megan.
Megan seemed to be enjoying herself, too.
"Mom, you're spending too long chatting at the door.
Why don't we go inside and talk?"
At my words, my mom clapped her hands in delight.
"Oh, you're right. Sorry about that. Come on in."
In the living room, it was mostly Mom and Megan chatting away. I joined in, but mostly as a listener. After we finished the roll cake Megan had brought, my mom asked,
"Oh, by the way, I know it might be early, but have you two thought about when you'll have the wedding?" A wedding?" Well." Megan looked at me with a slight panic in her eyes. Taking the lead, I said to my mom, "Yeah, I'd like to have it soon."
"Winter's too cold, so maybe before it gets chilly."
Yes.
"And Megan would look beautiful in anything she wears." My mom looked delighted, while Megan appeared a bit flustered. The moment Mom went to the kitchen to refill the tea, Megan leaned over and whispered,
"James, are you sure about this? Getting specific might just make things harder later." "It's all right. I really do want to marry you."
"What?"
"Wait, who?" "You, Megan." Megan looked at me in disbelief.
Her mouth hung open, and despite the seriousness of the moment, I couldn't help but laugh a little.
"That's mean. How could you tease me like that?"
Seeing her eyes fill with tears, I quickly apologized.
"Sorry for laughing. But I'm serious, this is really how I feel." Megan looked like she didn't know how to process my words. Her expression showed just that.
But it seemed like something inside her was welling up.
Her face crumpled, and finally, her emotions burst out. "Marriage? I could never get married."
At her outburst, my mom came rushing in from the kitchen.
"What's going on, Megan? James, what did you do to her?"
Mom looked furious, her expression like thunder. To my right was Megan, overcome with emotion and in tears. To my left was my mom, looking ready to grab hold of me at any moment. I was stuck trying to handle both at once.
But I knew I had to talk to Megan first. "Is it because of what happened in your past?" "Yes. That's why. I could never get married." "Even after hearing all of that, I still feel the same way about you, Megan." "What?" "At first, you were just my cute junior.
I loved going to lunch with you, watching you savor every bite, smiling and saying how happy you were.
I felt so at ease with you."
I spoke slowly, letting Megan know how much she'd come to mean to me.
"When you offered to pretend to be my girlfriend, I was really happy.
And as we planned together, it was so much fun."
even though it was all pretend. Seeing you laughing with my mom, I kept wishing it could be real. I started falling for you more and more.
Megan listened, her tear-streaked face watching me as I spoke. Beside me, my mom muttered, "Pretend," but, thankfully, she picked up on the atmosphere and didn't say anything more.
Nice one, Mom. Just stay quiet for now. Everyone has a past. We all have things we'd rather take to the grave. But that's part of who we are, and we have to live with it. Megan, I need you to answer me honestly, don't you want to be happy? Megan's tears wouldn't stop. They kept flowing one after another. Yes. I do. I want to be happy too. I want a family, to live a happy life. I wiped Megan's tear-streaked face with a cloth. Just like she had once done for me. Then let's do it. Let's be happy. It wouldn't make sense for someone who's been through as much as you to be denied that, would it? As I said that, a realization hit me. I had passionately confessed my feelings, but I hadn't even asked how Megan felt. I hadn't confirmed if she could really love someone nearly 10 years older. At this rate, I'd come off as some reckless, out-of-control guy. Megan, I'm sorry. Here I am rambling on without even knowing how you feel. Megan hastily responded, her voice sincere. I do. I love you, James. You're kind, fun, and when you came looking for me at the park, it meant so much. I loved talking with your mom. And I kept wishing this could all be real. Her words filled me with an overwhelming sense of relief. I thought, thank goodness. Just then, my mom, seated on my left, burst into tears. I'm so happy for both of you. I don't know what all happened, but I'm just glad. Megan turned to face my mom, sitting properly on her knees. Mrs. Summers, the truth is, in the past, Hearing Megan's story, my mom started crying 3 times harder than before. Mom was going through tissues at an impressive rate from all her crying. Starting to worry about her body's water levels, I poured her a fresh cup of tea and handed it over. She downed it in one gulp and then declared, "It doesn't matter. The past is the past. That guy is the one at fault. I swear, if he were standing right here." Megan, it's all right. I don't care about any of that. The Megan who laughed and talked with me is the only Megan I know. I thought to myself how amazing my mom was. Megan's tears welled up anew at my mom's words. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks, Mom. I'll protect Megan from here on out. Megan, James may seem unassuming, but he's surprisingly reliable. Let him protect you. And from now on, not just as a pretend girlfriend, all right? Let's make it real. Yes. Thank you. I felt happiness welling up inside me. As the tears finally subsided, I realized it had gotten dark outside. The 3 of us sat down to enjoy the dinner Mom had hurriedly prepared. Though Megan and Mom's faces still bore traces of tears, they looked genuinely happy. And I, of course, felt truly grateful and content. Megan, come visit again. Thank you. I'd love to. It was then, as Mom accompanied us to the door, that a voice called out. Well, Megan. I found you. At his words, Megan gasped and hid behind me, clutching my shirt and trembling. She held on tightly, her whole body shaking. Bleached blonde hair, jangling necklaces, and ripped jeans that looked like they were more whole than fabric. The smug, mocking grin on his face confirmed it, this guy was her sleazebag ex. Mom must have thought the same thing. She was beside me, glaring at him with narrowed eyes. What's wrong? Come on out. I've been waiting for you. Let's get back together, Megan. Her ex walked closer, smirking with that mocking grin. I stepped forward. James, no. It's too dangerous. With tear-filled eyes, Megan clung to me, desperately trying to hold me back. She was stronger than I expected,
clearly overcome with worry.
It's alright, it's alright. Megan, come here, dear.
You'll be safe. Mom stayed close to Megan, reassuring her it's okay, and gently pulled her a bit farther back. As she stepped away from my side, she mouthed, "Take him down," which made me chuckle despite the situation.
Hey, who do you think you are? Move aside. Megan's coming with me. Megan's going to marry me. Was it you? The lowlife who faxed that stuff around the office? Do you even understand what you've done?
I glared at her ex with all the intensity one could muster. But his smirk didn't waver.
He must have thought I was some weak, middle-aged pushover. Oh, so you saw them? Nice gift, wasn't it? You're dating Megan, huh? Didn't think she'd be that kind of girl, did you?
Poor guy, totally fooled. I looked down at Megan, who was trembling, on the verge of tears. I couldn't contain my anger, knowing he was the one who'd caused her so much pain. In a deep, steady voice, I said,
"Listen up. I'm going to make Megan happy.
I'm going to give her a warm home and a good life.
You're done here. Never come near her again.
And don't pull anything else, because I'll take you down, whether it's through the police, a lawyer, or the courts."
Shut up, old man. Megan's my goldmine.
Angrily, he moved toward me, a scowl replacing his sneer.
Watch out.
I caught his fist mid-swing and pulled him toward me. At the same time, I swung my other fist, stopping it just short of his face. The sharp whoosh of my punch made him yelp and instinctively squeeze his eyes shut. When he opened them again, all he saw was my fist inches from his face. His legs gave out, and he sank to the ground, trembling. I knelt down to his eye level, keeping my fist just 10 centimeters from his face, and made it crystal clear. "I don't care how many times you come back, I'll be here to throw you out every time. If you keep causing Megan trouble, I'll hunt you down wherever you run, and I'll make sure you pay for it. Get this through your head, don't ever show your face to us again.
Don't ever come near Megan again."
At my words, he nodded repeatedly, his face pale as a sheet. He scrambled backward, crawling away until he finally managed to get up and stumble into a shaky run.
Phew, guess I've still got it.
I rolled my shoulders a bit to ease the tension.
"James, you're so strong, that was amazing."
"See? I told you he's reliable," my mom chimed in.
"This kid even did boxing for a while. He got pretty far, too, but an injury made him quit. A guy like that doesn't stand a chance."
"Sorry if I scared you. But after what I told him, he's not coming back. And even if he does, I'll be here to protect you, Megan." Megan blushed deeply at my words, looking embarrassed but grateful. Seeing her reaction, I started to blush, too.
Watching us both, my mom chuckled. "Oh my, you too. This is better than any Korean drama. Isn't love wonderful?
And at this rate,
maybe I won't have to wait too long to become a grandma. I can't wait." Megan and I turned even redder, then exchanged a look and couldn't help but laugh.
Little did we know that my mom's words would actually come true sooner than either of us expected.